as the world is growing, have you heard of Yonyama, the butchers?
Yes.
Even these days, you find chicken in the butcher. They're even cutting in kilos.
Yes.
So we are looking at the world changing to in this direction. Because even chicken, you really now find people slaughtering chicken and feeding the fish in their home. They rather buy a yuga chick, which is already done.
It's no problem.
Yes. No, I'm not saying it is not.
We are going to see the downfall.
Yes, but we are now looking at in an aspect of someone getting it from a butcher, someone getting it from a supermarket, someone getting it from a stall. Which is already well done. Because of that challenge, that's why we had to go all our way to do a slaughterhouse at the farm. We've done a slaughterhouse at the farm, so we are supplying meat, rabbit meat, not meat as an animal.
Now it's like this. You are looking at people like me, your class. I can afford to buy it in the butcher. But you know the largest number of consumers are the local people. In business, you can look at how much am I selling?
Yeah.
Now, do you know that if somebody came with 100 rabbits and it is Easter time, and they are just in a truck or 200, and came to the market and everybody is picking one, do you know in a day he will sell all the 200 rabbits? When the kilograms equivalent to 200 rabbits took to bigger butchers have not been taken?
It is also one thing we are looking at, because we are looking at it in two dimensions. One, we are promoting its growth from a family level, from a household level.
Then household level, that's how you have to train somebody on how to slaughter it.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. But we are training them now to rear them so that we can buy from them and now take to the market, as well as promoting it being eaten in the family.
Now it's like this. Agriculture is also that grow crops, eat some,
and then sell some.
So if you want somebody to rear rabbits, train him on also how to slaughter them so that he can eat, or even in case of a problem that is rabbit, sell to the nearest person before he can only look for you to sell to you.
No, actually,
we don't want you to make the market monopolistic a little bit.
No, it is not monopolistic, but we are looking at, as we are developing the industry, where should we focus first?
I know your focus is the high class. Or
No, not in that aspect. I'm saying in terms of promoting the industry, where should we focus first? We chose to focus on its growth and multiplication as at this point. So the variation and because slaughtering now that comes in the variation.
Slaughtering doesn't need variation.
No,
I guess
no slaughtering, because you are preparing meat. You are turning rabbit into meat.
Listen, if it is to go commercial, you will bring in the halal things of has it been slaughtered by a Muslim, what, because you want it to be commercial. But now this person is buying for his family. That today we want to eat rabbit meat. I've sent the child in the market to buy a rabbit. He has bought it. Does he now to slaughter it? Does he now to prepare it right away, remove the intestines and what have you? I want it to become simplistic.
Yeah, true.
That the ordinary person can think of eating rabbit meat and he doesn't need to go to the butcher. Can just go to the market in Kalere, go to the market in Natete and buy a rabbit because he knows the steps that proceed to preparing it to the edible form.
Yeah, that is true, and I think it is now a word for thought to Calf Rabbitry, so that we can start embedding it into our trainings.
It's also the common people to become familiar with it. The way somebody can have like free-range chicken at home, could have free-range rabbits, the same. So, and the more people become familiar with it, that's how buying rabbit from the market will also become perceived as if it is a normal thing. A normal thing. I guess now if you went to the market and you are buying a rabbit and you say you are going to eat a rabbit today, people cannot look at it as if it is as simple as eating chicken.
Yeah, of course.
Yet, equivalently, the meat tastes the same.
Actually, it's better than chicken.
And even the cost is affordable. So when you are looking at what takes you to a higher level, you don't leave the local person.
We're not leaving the local person per
or
se.
the ordinary person.
We're not leaving the ordinary person, but we are looking at maybe a top-down approach.
Use the bottom up. The bottom up takes into consideration
the bottom up.
The ones at the bottom are many.
Yes, the bottom up we are looking at in the later stage, because at the moment now the cost of production it is high, and we are looking for a market that can afford
now,
the price at this.
Integrate the two approaches. Integrate. Look at the top down. Start the bottom up also, so that when the two are together,
we are integrating it in a way that the top down, this is in terms of the market, but now in terms of developing and multiplying the rabbits, then these people we're making clusters in them so they can be able to supply, and them themselves then they can consume from what they are producing.
Okay.
So the person who is down can consume from rearing them, and those who cannot rear them but at the high point and they can afford the meat.
Input-output analysis. For you to meet your costs, you should look at the first buyers. But what I'm saying is for sustainability, there is sustainability in business. Will it be here today? Will it be here 2030 and even 2040?
I'm saying those are the strategies that we are now looking at.
Yes, yes.
It is very hard to think about tomorrow when today is not certain.
Yes, yes. So, as you think of today, that is the first buyers or a good target market. Also think about your product becoming familiar on the market. You reach a point when somebody wants to rear rabbits and comes to you. So you are selling them in terms of litter, young ones. That is money. When you have grown a lot, if Sheraton is no longer taking your rabbits, because even market trends in business change.
Of course.
Hotels are moving out of Uganda, but the local people will remain with you. Sheraton will close tomorrow, it can't take your rabbit meat. But if you created an avenue that you can put them in the truck and take them to the market, Kalero is there. It will be there to stay. Other markets are coming. You live in Kapeka. Matuga is becoming a marketplace.
Yeah, even the industrial area.
So why don't you train people on how easy it is to prepare a rabbit at home, so that even if you put your rabbits in the truck and you took them to Matuga market and they see this is a truck for rabbits, people can line up and they are just taking rabbits, and for you what you need is the money. You have sold the 50, you don't mind about how they will slaughter, but they have learned how to slaughter and prepare it for themselves.
It is not minding about how they slaughter, but it was in what should we teach first?
Okay.
Because this is a new industry.
Yes, I understand.
It is a new thing to everyone. Even the multiplication, they have not even well understood it. Even the basics of rearing it, they have not well understood it. Then it is a bit hard now to cross over.
No, it's not crossing over. Like I said, integrate all together. Train them on how to eat it. Then somebody will develop the interest to rear.
Now we are training them on how to eat it.
Now let me tell you, I've tested it here. I see few restaurants selling it. But I'm going to take a full year without eating it again. But if I knew how to slaughter it and skin it, and it is in the market, I can make it a Sunday menu And how many Sundays do we have in a year? And if I'm one,
actually,
and maybe 100 people make it that.
Actually, this is one of the questions that one asked me way back when I was starting. Someone told me, you are telling people to rear rabbits.
Yes.
Eh? And rabbit is good meat and what and what and what. So, rabbit has market and what. So he was saying, have you seen a butcher
of rabbit meat?
Yes. And how many have you seen? So I asked him, now, can you answer these 3 questions? One is, how do you know that the lack of butcher, it is because there is no meat, there are no producers of meat to have it in the butcher. Because it can also be a factor why butchers are not there, because there are no farmers to produce meat to get to the butcher. When I was starting, I went to those big hotels and restaurants, and what they were saying is, rabbit keepers, they're not serious. They'll tell you they have a lot of rabbits, today they'll supply, next day you call them, their phones are switched off. Why is this happening? Because there is no production. The production is still low. So we cannot have volumes and consistent when there is no production. And I asked them, also the other thing is, because you have not seen Omdala gwa kamyu in your locality, does it mean there is no Omdala gwa kamyu everywhere in Uganda? And if it is not in Uganda, what stops them from exporting it to other countries? So most of these questions are all coming because we don't have producers, enough producers to produce enough meat to go to the market so that you can get it on a weekly basis.
Okay.
So my strategy was, let me first focus on production. Let me first teach people on how to rear them. Let me first teach people on how to multiply them. Then when we have them, then the value addition, now the having it everywhere, having the stalls, having it where, it will be easy because now the product will be available.
Okay,
so that was
okay.
that was my strategy.
The product
but
is
however,
available.
we have also had your comment.
My approach.
Yes, your approach is also a good one. We want to start embedding it into the process that we are on, but we had first concentrated on the production, and since now we have there's an option for that.
Now for me, I'm looking at numbers.
Yes.
Leave alone the numbers that will go in Sheraton Hotel and what have you.
Yes,
but look at how many people are here now for the show.
The numbers we agree. I 100% agree with you. But now, let me give you an example. When we are starting, we started with an economy class where someone just takes 6 rabbits, and with those 6 rabbits, you can start and do some production. But for us now to collect rabbits from different localities with those small numbers, it was not making the economies of scale.
Okay,
and then we had to put them into clusters so that we can have some volumes to be able now to run with the economies of scale.
Okay.
So numbers, it is okay, but you also look at the economies of scale. Yes, you have 100 people, each doing six rabbits, but in different localities. How much fuel are you going to use to collect all those rabbits from them?
The only way even those in your locality will grow a larger number is if they are familiar with the ease of slaughtering and preparing it for consumption as a home meal.
But you know, familiarity comes with consistent approach. They're seeing it on the news, they're seeing it on
That's
TV,
what I want you to do.
So that consistency.
That's what I want you to do.
Yes, we are doing it, but we cannot do it to the magnitude that you want because we are strained financially, and now we are focusing on where we can get the financial muscle easily so that it can reinvest into this massive communication.
The financial muscle will come from the bigger people, but the only threat, I'm looking at the bigger people. Market trends determine their power of buying. And also predictability of business. There are some seasons also when the bigger people don't have business. But the ordinary home person, when it comes to consumption, for him, he has made it a routine. And maybe he has his children, every week they have to eat rabbit once in 7 days. So we agree the other one has been done. We are grateful. But also what I want you to look at is extensively scaling it to the lower people, middle class. Because they will start with rearing it at home and seek familiarity on how sweet the meat is. Then somebody will have a village farm and said, you know what? I would rather establish a 200 rabbits farm. And if he establishes that,
I think now with this demand,
also the market will.
That is where now we call in partners, NGOs, government. They have a lot of grant to sustain people. They have a lot of money to do ABCD.
You see those things, they are there. But they want your proposal.
Because
they need your proposal.
Of course, but because me as a business person, as the private sector, I'll look at now where do I benefit more. However much this is a business which is which we are looking at also social transformation.
It is okay.
But there are some things we cannot go into now.
You are looking at where do you benefit from for business to break even faster.
Of course.
Perhaps. But also for me, what I'm looking at is you will reach the takeoff stage per se in the years you calculate, but sustainability. So that we get to know that you started something, but it has become sustainable. And it has been embraced by everybody. That's what we want. That's how it will benefit everybody. You see, the way we look at benefit out of something, it shouldn't benefit a chosen few because of class. That you are rich, you go to Sheraton, you can afford buying rabbit meat. But if it benefits the many, even the ordinary person, because the ordinary person will buy rabbit meat a piece at Sheraton, can't buy rabbit meat a piece at Sheraton at 20,000. But he would be happier if he bought a rabbit at 50 and the pieces are 10. They can feed his whole family. So there is value for him in buying a whole animal than him alone as a person going to Sheraton and eating one piece. And it will remain at the back of his mind that yes, I've eaten. But if really I knew how to buy a big one and prepare it, the whole family would have
enjoyed.
So you think about it.
Thank you so much.
I'm grateful.
It was a very wonderful conversation, and we have really taken concern of all. We've taken note of all your concerns, and we'll at least see how to embed it into our strategy and see how we can integrate the bottom up
and the top down approach.
Yes.
Because finally you will win when the numbers are many.
Yes.
When all people know that eating rabbit meat is as easy as eating chicken.
Yes.
But trust me, even those who have come to the stall to eat it, a few.
Yes.
A few, but if they become many, you will find that
we'll hold the
entire field may become a stall for rabbit meat because they are now familiar with.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really appreciate your time, and we'll watch to work together. But I didn't get maybe your details.
I'm very grateful. I'm called the Kagumba Joseph. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a trained pharmacist. So I work in healthcare. My business is more of healthcare, but also I have interest in this because
nutrition
is a component.
Yes.
And if it is nutrition for all, it is better than nutrition for a certain class.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.